Okay, should be good.
Are we good?
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
What is up, dudes?
All right. Well, let's see. What can I do? Yep.
Who be JP Noir, Adam Green, what's up?
Hello.
How's everyone today?
Yeah, we got Mark
are
in
you
the
doing?
chat today.
Yay! Jace, what's up?
And all audio issues have been fixed.
Bunny, do what's up? Nation, what's up? Everyone's coming in. Dudes are appearing.
Yay.
Hey Spyro, there are Rhinox
Zep, what's up?
everywhere. Maybe I can find some peace and quiet at the top of this.
Hello, Charlie.
Alas, I have lost my love. She's a bit.
It's the meal.
It's always a good time when Charlie comes into the chat.
999? How are the winds over there? Have you been feeling any crazy stuff happening?
Not really.
I was looking it up, and the general layout of where it's hitting, like, yeah, I was like, okay, so you should be fine, but in case it just feels a little windier than usual.
I mean, it's always cold, so...
It's true. Over here it's pretty cloudy, but it hasn't started raining yet, but it probably will this week, which is fun, considering I've got a lot to do this week. Kristen, what's up?
Boggle.
Boggle.
Boggle. Chicken boy, what's up? I don't think I fully convinced Miharu to stream again on Twitch. I think that's just a way of getting the best usage of both platforms.
Not really. Actually, it was somebody who commented, somebody who commented on my update short, that I should just stream on both at the same time, and I'm like, well, I guess I could try to use Restream again, because I tried to use it once, and I couldn't really figure it out. But now it seems to be working.
Oh, and the audio sync issue from yesterday is gone.
Yeah.
That's what she was fighting with before we started, actually.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out for like a half hour.
All of our Christmas stuff is put away, but I gotta put the tree away. It's the last thing.
I think, we pretty much put everything away. There's a couple things still out. Just,
Yeah,
I think the thing that we hold the Christmas cards in is still out, that's it.
we don't put out a whole lot anymore, but what we do, it's pretty easy to set up and put away. We were gonna try and risk putting up one of the inflatables this year, but we ended up not doing it. I say that because we have a bunch of cats and we don't want them to get all curious when it's when they're inflated, and we don't want them to puncture it.
Yeah. Okay, Sparks, where the hell are you pointing? Oh, here we go. There we go.
A little secrety bit. You ever had an issue in Heracos where the alarm will go off even after you've beaten the Lightning Stone mission? I don't think I've ever...
No, I don't think so.
Wolfman, how's it going? What up, what up? Yeah, I'm glad that they do make use of, this high jump. And not just for platforming.
Okay. Sparks is pointing up.
Did you go across the pillars?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of glitches that have happened that are like super rare and weird in this game. What the hell is he pointing to?
Yeah, no, like he's pointing to a location that doesn't exist. Unless he's pointing over here.
Oh, which he was, I think. That's why sometimes
There we go.
Reignited Sparks just lies.
It's true.
No, his weirdly coated ass is lazy in this game, in these games, because he'll sometimes not pick up certain gems, and it's a collision issue.
Yeah. Oh, look, 69% for Molten Crater. Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Keep it just like that. The googly eyes inside the Switch game cases. I kind of heard about that, like in passing. I didn't really like read anything about it though. Is someone trolling?
Shit.
Do you like the...
No, I don't
won't
want
change
passive.
it.
Passive. Why don't you like passive?
Because I like when the camera follows me. It's easier to
Hey,
control.
My portal is...
Are you going 400? You're not going for 100% really
No.
anything, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's fun, Jace. I don't know which one.
It's the second lizards one. I don't like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
While I was gone, my
I mean, Reignited is good. I don't really know what you're wrong about. It's not perfect.
It is good.
You have to understand, like, how all of these projects came out. Like, we're lucky we got any of this to begin with because of how Activision and all them have been.
if you want to
You gotta understand too, like, many remakes aren't as colorful as their originals because limited palette and limited lighting and all that. So when you change that and modernize it, it's gonna look different. Like there's no,
I think this is pretty damn colorful.
there's no stopping that. I kind of understand like what you're sort of getting at. I think it's probably more the textures and the colors. I noticed that with Ensign as well back in the day, that a lot of the textures, like the patterns on the floors or the walls in certain levels throughout the 3 games, don't really pop the way they do in the original. But in the original, like you had very limited, you know, a limited color palette, and they had to like bolden the lines and stuff to make stuff stick out, like details stick out. And so like when you're able to kind of make it look a little more glossy or a little more, you know, sleek with the modern graphics, it's gonna look different.
In fact, no, I think, okay, so I think the problem is, in fact, I'd argue this is more colorful than the original, and that's maybe the problem.
How so? Like in what way?
Like, going back to Misty Bog, for example. Yes. So, if I just use that as an example, you know what I mean.
And you gotta wonder, like, how, like, the choices that went behind that, and why it resulted in the way it looks in the finished product. Because, yeah, it's really weird that it doesn't look quite the way, it does in the original. And I'm wondering if, like, they were trying to do some, like, realistic fog effects and it didn't work and it was making the game chug, or, like, or what. But I'm not too sure. Because, again, we talked about how, the draw distance fog, that was like one of the biggest selling points of the original Spyro, is that they were trying to get, you know, this, it was very revolutionary, you know, tech for its time. And Insomniac doesn't get enough credit for that because they almost essentially pioneered the way modern games look with the rotatable camera and everything. The panoramic view and all that. And the level of detail, like in the background, the draw distance, all that stuff. Like, Insomniac weren't like the starters of that, but they pioneered some great tech that, you know, is still used today. And the point being that for Spyro, it was important to see where you're gliding to and where you're, so they can make these incredible set pieces that you're, you know, and make it feel very natural and organic and what have you. And so, like, not only did the coding have to be on point, but they still used those little tips and those little tricks for specific points in the game. So what the PS1 normally produces, which you would want to kind of use, you know, many, you know, games use the draw distance fog. They only used it in one level, which was Misty Bog, to give it the misty feel.
Yeah.
Reignited just kind of did away with that. And I think it's because they were trying to, you know, make some like really nice looking fog, and it probably just didn't work out, or whatever. Because that kind of stuff's tricky to get down.
Oh, hi,
Without lagging the game out.
Friends are trying to take down a
Twilight.
fortress. I'm about to go.
Thank you
lend
for the
a-
membership.
Well,
I love the smell of singed
Ralph,
Rhinoc in the
what's up,
morning.
Spyro?
Spyro.
Spyro.
Oh my god, a Spyro.
Yeah, Yeah, for real. Insomniac's always been great at squeezing as much as they could out of that disk space. I mean, they really, you know, ever since Spyro, it really showed. That's why I always think it's so crazy how both Naughty Dog and Insomniac, like, started with, you know, started on the PlayStation / the 3D or what have you with, like, you know, a really weird game that was a clone of something else they were inspired by, and then their immediate next original thing, like, blew up in popularity, and, like, they became household names on PS1 on their first try. That's insane.
Oh my god. There you go. There you go. There you go. Forgot how to do this for a sec. There we go.
Oh yeah, you have to take your own advice. You made a short on this.
I know. There we go.
Wow! I can't believe I survived that blast. It's a good thing I kept
Pinball's
this
going.
egg nice and...
Wish Sheila was in more Spyro games. I mean, true. There are plenty of characters that stick out and that are quite iconic for Spyro that they're just like, nah.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to see
Boggle.
them ever again.
Well,
And it's like,
she is in Season of Flame. I think.
and was
I
that
think
like
she's
her,
in
like
Season
her
of Flame.
last appearance?
Probably. I don't even know. I don't even know if she was in Attack of the Rhinos, to be honest.
I don't think she was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. A lot of people did not like. Mainly, they didn't like the big hips and the hair.
Okay, so I never understood like let's get a close up on Sheila here. All right. So
She's adorable.
I know she's fine. I mean, like I can sort of understand like being on like the hair. Maybe it should have like been like more of a like tomboyish hairstyle. I don't know, like just one single little ponytail or something. I would have preferred that. That maybe I can get behind. The hips thing, like she's a cartoon character, man.
Well, also, they want to emphasize her feet and her.
They
hips
want to
because
emphasize her legs.
She's a kangaroo.
She's a kangaroo, yeah. Have you looked at a kangaroo?
They can break bones, dude. They're powerful as shit.
Yeah.
Their kicks are fierce. Arguably, they're stronger than like probably a donkey's kick or a horse's kick. They
Yeah.
kick back.
I got a thing up here.
And they fear nothing. Those motherfuckers are insane.
Yeah.
Real life kangaroos are. You do not want to get on the bad side of a kangaroo in real life. They'll stare you down. That's how badass they are. Not to mention the ones who look
Kangaroos are-
swole.
Yeah, kangaroos are scary.
Kangaroos actually kind of are scary. But I mean, you know, it's again them wanting to, as their adaptation, they want to, you know, make them look a bit fuller and give them more substance or whatever. So it's like, oh, Sheila was just a normal ass-looking little naked kangaroo with no hair on top of her head in the original. Well, now she's cute. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's like a little explorer.
Yeah. She's got like, you know, it's, I think it's a balance.
Kristen, what's up? Just because something won't eat you doesn't mean it won't try to hurt you, yeah. For
And
real.
there were plenty of people who did not know that Sheila was a girl in the original. Plenty of people didn't know.
That is so weird to me. Like, I always
I
knew as a
mean-
kid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because like, we think like, oh, how did you not know, like, Sheila's obviously a girl's name. But like, you know, a lot of people who played this game maybe didn't speak English, or, you know, it like just wasn't a thing that, you know, or like me, you didn't pay attention to names.
Colada, what's up? Yeah. I like how she looks now, I just don't like how tight the vest looks on her. That's a little tiny vest. Again, I mean, when you're messing with the proportions, like what can you do, right? Got little tiny arms, and she got big old feet.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Hello, hello.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do the tunnel.
Used to have a dragon egg for you, but instead
Okay, I'm a little
the
curious.
tunnel was
Busy with chicken and duck stuff. Are you cooking?
Are you cooking?
Are you winning, son?
Let's hope you're winning, son. Oh god, okay.
Bench actually still doesn't have a pouch, though. Yeah, that's true. That is true. She doesn't have a pouch. Were any of those original concept pieces of her in Reignited, did any of them feature a pouch?
Damn! Last one! Fuck!
every
Aw.
I don't know if any of them featured a pet. Well, I don't know. Go back and look.
I can't remember. Yeah, let me see. Let's look it up live.
Oh fuck, I knew I was gonna make that.
Oh yeah, no, the very first one that I found, and funny enough, Nick did it. Nicholas Cole. Yeah, he gave her a pouch. The original design, she did look very close to the original concept pieces for her for Reignited. She did look close to her original PS1 look.
Yeah, I would assume
The
so.
only things.
There we go. First try.
say has surprised
Nice. The first try. The only extra things they gave her in this version of her design, which is a little tuft of hair on the top, a little like handkerchief, like neckerchief, and then the pouch. She looked pretty much the same otherwise.
Yeah, that concept. I actually really like that one.
But then after that, they were like, "All right, that's good. Now give her lots of hair and a little jacket."
Give her a bunch of hair.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the very first piece of concept art gave her a pouch. For some reason, it didn't make it in to her final design. I guess because her waistline is like so small. It probably would have looked weird. I guess. I'm not sure. What a fucking scary concept for an animal. Just, hey, you know pockets that humans have woven into their clothes? Here's one that's like your skin. It's a skin pocket.
You got a skin pocket here.
My
That's
plan
gross.
That's disgusting. Australia is home to a bunch of crazy creatures, though.
one of the Rhinox had this
Ooh, that's why
egg in
Crash
his
became popular,
lunchbox.
because it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is a bandicoot?
What is a bandicoot?
I want to go see one in real life. Okay, an actual, I think, like, sort of bucket list thing for me. Like, I don't know when I'm ever gonna get out of, you know,
Is to
the
touch a
state.
bandicoot.
No, well, that would be kind of cool. I mean, you don't really want to pick up a wild bandicoot, though. But, like, is to see if it's still up, which I'm hoping it should be. Because, I guess there's one part of, I don't even know where in Australia, there's one, like, specific little road you can drive down, but you know how there's like we've got deer crossing signs and stuff? There's literally a bandicoot crossing sign somewhere, and then someone spray painted Crash above Bandicoot, so it says Crash Bandicoot Crossing.
Nice.
And and Crash fans who are around the area or have gone out of the way will go and visit that sign, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. That'd be so cool.
Run over to the balloon.
Go see the sign, maybe run into a few bandicoots myself. Charizard, hello. And that skin pocket's full of mucus.
What?
Listen carefully, you
Oh, Kangaroo
stupid
Jack,
girl.
Jesus Christ, don't get me
I'm
started
only
on
going to
Kangaroo
ask
Jack. I
you
remember that
one
movie.
more time.
So
I remember.
So do I. And the only reason I remember it is because I saw it in the theaters and I was in the front row. The front row, and my neck was craned back.
Afraid?
And it hurt so bad.
Why have I been
Watching that little
training you
kangaroo
all
do
these years?
Rapper's Delight.
Use some magic. Here's a
With Anthony
spell.
Anderson running
Whip
around.
up a monster and eliminate him.
Kill him?
I don't
The
care
other
what
thing that
do,
you know, because I showed it to you about Kangaroo Jack, was the cartoon movie they did, the animated film.
That's right.
Got here.
Because I showed you the trailer, because I remember seeing the trailer as part of like the previews of like some other VHS tape I had. and
Get me out of here.
the
This is
trailer has
unacceptable.
the sound from Rayman 1 when you beat a level.
Oh!
And I was like, oh, it's Rayman.
Oh my.
And then it goes Osha Wash away.
Yeah, and then it's Tar Razor, and I get scared.
Then you get scared and hide.
What? Devil?
I hide. Oh. Yes, the thylacine. Oh, they look freaky in real life.
I love thylacines, they're so cool.
They're crazy looking. They're
I
actually
like how
feel
they can
extinct now, right?
unhinge their jaw. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. When did the last one die?
The last one, sometime in the 1900s. Ow. Okay.
Get buzzed on. That was the 30s.
Oh,
Okay,
come
for
on!
why-
I'm doing the jump! How?
You can jump over him?
No, not jump over him. I'm trying to do the jump away.
Oh. You actually, you jump?
Yeah, it helps me.
Oh. I mean, he's not very fast.
No, because his tracking is weird. That's what I'm saying. There we go. Like this. I just do this.
Wee, wee. Tasmanian Tigers.
Oh, that was weird.
Right?
They died in the 1930s? Okay.
I said 90s like a weirdo because I thought it was not that long ago.
I was just thinking 1900s, but I guess I was closer than you.
Yeah, because you generalized it. I gave a specific like decade.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that thylacines were like extinct, like in the black and white times, the times of old.
Black and white times.
You know, when the world was black and white and had no color.
Yeah, because that's how. Yeah. Some people actually think that.
So, I think some people did.
Oh no.
Isn't that what Julian said?
Okay,
don't remember-
Dragon,
I don't even
you've
know
managed to survive longer
where
than
that's
I
from.
expected,
What
but you
playthrough
haven't the
that'd be from.
slightest idea what sort of dangers
I don't
lie
know, I'm
ahead
pretty
of
sure
you.
he said that at
I
one point.
suggest you grab your cat friend
Might be
and whatever
Emperor.
eggs you found and hightail it back home while you still can. I'm telling you this
Be
for your
Emperor.
own good, you know.
It's funny we all have a gameplay quirks we don't think about. I'm trying to think of specific things I do in certain games that help me. I don't know. I just try to like go with the physics of whatever the game is. Like if I get a feel of the physics, then like that's how come I'm like I feel that I'm really good at Crash 1 because not only was it my first game I ever played, but like I'm used to the physics. So whenever everyone else goes, oh, like, you know, it's too slippery, it's too this or that, it's like, to me it's like, not really. Like there's a specific weight to the character you have to like feel out.
Hey,
Plus the little like traction thing he has. He's a little bit like Luigi in that respect. He takes like an extra step after you stop with him.
shout out to Silent Jack, who was playing Spyro 2 for the first time recently, and he just beat Gulp. And it was one of the most painful experiences he's ever been through.
Sounds about right. Hello, new dude.
Boggle.
Gamer of games.
Boggle.
Boggle.
No, I'm not good at speedrunning. I know speedrunning tips, but I've never learned to speedrun a game. I don't have the patience.
Speedrunning is really meticulous, but it's always awesome to see people who are good at it, who are fucking masters at it. Actually, as we're streaming this, GDQ 2025 is happening, and Astrobot is already there, which is awesome. So I'm gonna watch that that VOD back after this. It's not because of the games that I'm familiar with and want to see. There isn't like a whole lot for me in this particular lineup, but there's also SGDQ 2025. So, but there are a couple that I do want to see, and Astrobot's definitely one of them. Still jump a split second. Yes. Yeah, it's the hang time, the mid-air hang time. Hope was interesting to know that you could either do it the really hard way or you could cheese it.
You could do it the easy way, like I always do.
I'm sorry, I straight up thought you asked, what is your favorite Pokemon religion? And I was like, excuse me? My freaking, my eyesight bugged out for like half a second. I read region as religion. I was like, I'm trying to think of Pokegods?
Real,
in-game
yeah,
religion?
no, real, Pokegods, I love that. Real talk though, Johto. Johto has always been my favorite.
I don't know the games by region, so I don't have an answer.
Gen 2.
I've never beaten a single Pokemon game. Never finished Spyro 2, you should. It's very fun. It doesn't take that long either.
You should do it 100%.
Okay, well, I was gonna say if you know what you're doing and don't want to get everything, then it's not that long. But if you do want to get everything,
You should
then have to
play.
get good at minigames and shit.
You should play Spyro 1 and 2 to completion, and then just this one to the Sorceress, and then don't do anything
You see
else.
ladders or walls that look climbable. Just jump onto them and you'll grab them with your
Spyro 3 and Crash 3 are the weirdest to fully complete because they just are jam-packed with so much shit that's like, oh, what's happening? But I'm glad that it seems, because there's two sides to it. With platformers nowadays, and I'm talking about ones that are actually original, not just like remakes of like these ones, but we're starting to kind of, I think, realize, hey, putting minigames in platformers that control like actual garbage maybe isn't the best thing. We had to put up with it in the late 90s and early 2000s, but no more, because we're so used to it. We can actually, and now that, you know, a lot of indie devs who are fans of those games, you know, are making, you know, spiritual successor feeling ones or whatever the case may be, and they're like, yeah, let's not do that shit. But then you have the people who are also, and this just makes sense, nostalgic for that stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, the variety though, like, you know, you've got the main platforming that you can go off and go through a little portal, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're in this little magical area and you can like do a minigame. And so it's really weird how it's funny how people respond to all the variety things, and just the fact of, again, when you have platformers like this, or God forbid freaking DK64 where it's all variety all the time, there is kind of such a thing as overdoing it. Just a little bit.
Alright.
What do you mean?
No, because you were just like, oh, God forbid they get 64, and I was like, okay.
Well, no, the game is fun, but if you ever
Yeah, trying to
get the
complete it is like
insane
ass.
idea to complete it. Godspeed.
I know that Stripe did it. The other Mark, Zook Stripe.
He's a trooper.
I know.
Zook is a troop.
Zook is a troop. Goof troop.
Yeah, whether it's the collectibles or the percentage. I mean, because again, look at Crash 4 as well. It's become the more modern example for that. There's just so much shit they put in there, but everything is so difficult. Many vehicle focus mission. No, exactly. I mean, arguably Crash and Spyro started that, because if not for them, I don't think we would have gotten the weird-ass variety we got in, like, Sly or Jack or whatever.
Oh boy!
Friend Spyro. The sorceress. What a sucker!
And Jack's just going off of Crash, so, like, you know, you have jet ski physics in Crash 3, and you get jet ski physics in styled physics. It's not actual jet ski, but, you know, in Jack.
Right.
And there's the thing too, right? So it's weird because with Astrobot, I mean, it doesn't have mini games necessarily, but the amount of variety you can do, that's an example, a modern example of devs kind of taking those concepts of doing different things or having different abilities, but making all of them feel so freaking like tight and precise. They feel so good. So you're never really taken out, and it has a flow, a nice flow to it. So you're never taken out feeling like, okay, now I gotta do this trudging thing that's gonna take forever. And it's like a whole ass ability that takes place, or that, like, you know, you get in multiple levels. Like, no, if you get something in multiple levels, it usually feels very good at control, and they kind of, as much as I don't like the comparison that much, they do have a very Nintendo sense about it, but the way they executed it in Astrobot. There's a reason why people say, if you haven't played the new Astrobot, there's a reason why people say it feels like quote-unquote Mario Galaxy 3. I mean, even we were kind of saying that. Retroactively, I don't like the comparisons, but they're inevitable to make, because there are straight-up ideas that they did pull from, like, the Galaxy games. I don't know if they're ever going to go on, you know, record saying that those were the direct inspirations, but you can kind of tell that they sort of were. There's certain mechanics and abilities in Astrobot that just straight up feel like they were ripped from Mario Galaxy, like 1 or 2. Oh, we're bringing this back up, I see. You don't have to explain it again, Aaron, but for me, what's my opinion on Legend of Spyro? I like it. I like it a lot.
I know you like it.
I remember, because you had this conversation in the last stream, but for me, I first heard of New Beginning in a Game Informer magazine, I think it was, and it's the same one that had this was back when the Wii was still codenamed the Revolution, and Rayman Raving Rabbids was still being called and shown around as Rayman 4. So it was like the early Rabbid designs and all that stuff. It was that infamous trailer, if you know it. There were like all the cool, you know, freaking screenshots of him riding the eagle and like all the dark, gloomy stuff. So in that magazine, they had a little tiny article on New Beginning, and they called it a reboot, and I was like, oh. And my mom was the first one. She was reading through that magazine, and she was the first one that saw it, and then showed it to me. So I was like, oh, cool. And then it came out, and I had a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
AK64 also had the issue with there being too many playable characters. I mean, technically not really. Okay, because look at this game. You have, what, 7 playable characters. That sounds weird, but hold on. You've got Spyro. You have the critters, which consists of, in order, Sheila, Sergeant Bird, Bentley, and Agent 9. That's 5 already. You have Sparks levels, and then technically there is one little mini game per Speedway where you play as Hunter.
Yep.
7 characters, but it doesn't feel overly. It's a good length. It's got relatively okay pacing, and it never takes away from it being a Spyro game with Spyro as the main character first and foremost. They struck a really good balance about it, but with DK64, they decided to make every single main big level rotate around all the 5 characters. So you have to constantly go find the barrel when you see a path that you can't collect, you know, bananas from or whatever. Find the correct color-coded character and then figure out what abilities they can do, and then go and use their instrument somewhere or their abilities somewhere. And it's very intricate and it's very like clever for that, but it's also just very bloated in the sense that like it's left people almost fatigued over it. The fact that like there's too much platformer overload, collectathon overload. Like I said, there's such a thing as overdoing it.
Sure.
But I'm not saying the game's not fun at all, or I'm saying it's bad because of that. Like, I think they just need to go about it. For it being an N64 game that's doing that shit, that's very interesting and very, kind of forward-thinking and, you know, ahead of the time. But maybe it just was a little too... I wouldn't even say, no, I wouldn't say a little too early for its time. Like a little too of its time. Or, past its, or whatever. But, like, I think it just needed to be a little more... I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. I don't know, for lack of a better way to describe it, just more like this. Like, kind of just bar the characters off into their own little areas rather than having each big-ass Banjo-Kazooie styled area revolve around 5 different characters. I mean, even the way they did it in 2 was really good and tight because of the fact of like, okay, either you're playing as the 2 of them, as per the usual, or you're splitting them up. And and it's just 2 characters, which you can switch to whenever you find a pad or whatever the case may be. So like, designing platforming bits or challenges or secret areas that only one of them can access around just the 2 of them and what they can do was fine because it's just the 2. But then I guess they rolled with that concept and said, hey, let's do that, but fucking more. That is kind of like the buzzword for DK64 is just the word more, which doesn't always mean better, but doesn't mean it's not fun either. Because I got about halfway through the game. There's still a crap ton of stuff I'm missing and the worlds I already went through, but like,
Right.
the game itself is fun. Like, whoever were to like, if there were to be a remake, like a full-blown insane Reignited style remake, they'd have a fucking field day. Because there's just so much of that game. I wonder if they could like, I wonder if they would streamline it a bit. Like, I don't know if they would do like a straight up,
No.
like one-to-one remake in terms of the gameplay, or if they would like kind of remix the style a bit more and make it more streamlined and make it, you know, flow a bit better, so people don't run into that fatigue, I guess. Like, keep the amount of collectibles if you want to be crazy about it, and keep it faithful in that regard of like, there's just so much to grab. I wonder if there'd be like an easier way, like either more barrels around the areas or like, I don't know. The DK rap. It's a certified hood classic. Oh yeah, that's what Sonic 06 was trying to be. That game had 9 playable characters and a bunch of vehicle gameplay. The problem is none of them are baseline good to play as. I mean, that game's identity is all over the place. It doesn't even know what it wants to be. It was trying to do what the adventure games did, and and Heroes, and it was way too bloated. Plus, just there was so much about the design of that game that just didn't fucking.
Shit.
Oh.
Fuck. Alright.
Was it little man? Oh god, it's him.
Okay,
I like
alright,
how you
alright.
did the. I like how you did the skip as well.
Okay. I know. I always do that skip.
Yeah. This is a weird comparison to make too, but even yeah, how the classic Sonic stuff handled it, it's kind of, I think for something like that to run, it might have been partly inspired of all things, and this is just because I've been playing the games recently, but probably by Resident Evil because they did that too. You have at least 2 campaigns to play through, and it's the same areas, but like different events play out, different pathing for the different characters to keep it fresh. You're not doing the exact same game with just another character.
Yeah.
So for Sonic to do that with like 4 or 5 different characters, but that's where then it's like, okay, the longer, and see, Resident Evil, those old games, and even the remakes of 2 and 3 are like really short when you think about it, and that's the thing that kept wigging me out. That's like, oh my god, like I didn't realize that the campaigns are that short. If you know what you're doing and you can get through it, you know, quickly enough, and even some trophies or achievements challenge you to go through as quickly as possible. But in that sense, and the fact that like you go through certain paths kind of backwards as one character versus the way you did it forwards with, you know, the first character, if you're doing like a B playthrough or whatever, that makes it feel fresh. And even though it's the exact same rooms, exact same puzzles, exact same things, it still feels fresh, and the different weapons per character and what have you. With something like Sonic, having 4 characters run through the same big worlds, I never really liked that concept, weirdly enough, because it always felt like, okay, well, I'm just here again, but as this character, and now, I don't know, like, it was very odd to me back then. Like, yes, they have different abilities and stuff, but it's like, yeah, but I've already been here. When you have more than 2 characters, I think that's when it starts to get a little bloated.
Yeah.
But the way,
I don't
again,
know, you just
Spyro
gotta
3,
do it right.
Yeah, Spyro 3 I feel does it right. Which is why I'm like, oh, that's why multiple people want to see for a new Spyro game. They want to see, you know, oh, well then what can, you know, they do with, if they wanted to bring Cinder into this, you know, more non-legend canon or whatever, like, well, what can they do with her in this, you know, different world or whatever, or like, what can they do with, you know, Alora? So people will want to see, like, you know, certain characters be playable in a new Spyro game, and not even just the critters come back, but like, yeah, again, like maybe more Hunter, like in Hero's Tale, or Bianca or Alora. That'd be cool.
I have to train the hummingbirds. They
Again, if you
must
do it
be
right, though, you can't just stuff a bunch of characters in and be like, yeah, it's gonna be good.
So, the situation is this.
The situation is this.
Yeah. It's the little French hummingbirds.
Thank you, sir.
Hearing all these ideas for Spyro 4 to make my own sound cribby landed. Whenever I think about what they could do for a new game, for anything, whether it's a new Crash, new Spyro, like, I'm trying to think logically, but I'm also trying to see, like, hearing what other people want or what they would like to see, like, and then trying to, like, if I agree with those kinds of things, then, like, letting my own imagination go off and like, okay, well, how would they execute that? How would they do that, or whatever? Like, what someone, I forget who it was right now, I think it might have been Zap, was saying something about, like, oh, what if anti-gravity? I saw that comment, I wasn't able to reply to it right away, but, oh, like, you know,
Yeah,
anti-gravity or
I was
whatever.
wondering how that would work, though, like in a Spyro game.
Well, if they were to have some sort of, for whatever reason, if they were to have some kind of space-themed area, not only would that be cool for Agent 9, and that's just considering the fact of, like, oh,
So,
if you even wanted to reference as a deep cut, like, one of his canceled projects or whatever.
Right.
He was going to be a space ranger.
I mean,
But-
that would be cool.
But like, one of the coolest things, I remember people thought it was so cool when they saw it for the first time, and then they were thinking, oh, for a new Spyro game, this could be super dope. When
Are you talking about the skin? Yeah.
Boggle.
The spacesuit, and what I guess we've all kind of dubbed it as Galaxy Breath. I'm like, could you fucking
Yeah.
imagine? Like, just make it like Portal. Have like something where like you could like super flame like a shot far away, and it creates like a kind of rip in reality, and it makes a little portal, and then you could use your own like, you know, classic, you know, circle the flame, like a wall or something, and it just goes, and then it just creates this like cool galaxy fucking portal you could go through or some shit. Like, I don't know. Again, and that's something that I, now if you ask me what I want, you know, when a new Spyro game, it would be, not to get too into it, short version, just stuff what I've always said personally, just stuff that builds upon the abilities and the features of Spyro himself that are already there. Like I keep saying, he has horns, give him cool horn abilities. He has his wings, give him bladed metal wings or crystal wings that give him different abilities. That's something, and then twist that, diffuse that into the natural gameplay that feels like this, you know, like Reignited or, you know, classic Spyro. That would be cool.
Yeah.
It's an expansion, it's familiar, but it's still new. That's what Crash 4 did for Crash, and you can do the same for Spyro. And I've made videos about that stuff on my own channel, so I'm not gonna, yeah, like, this is not my stream. I'm not trying to, you know, take over for the commentary. I don't want to, like, just ramble for hours about that.
Okay.
I'm really, like, cautiously optimistic for whatever could potentially be happening with Spyro.
Oh my god.
Thunderbird has to be the slowest playable character. In the original, was it not like Bentley? Wasn't Bentley the slowest?
Bentley's pretty slow. I
I remember.
I don't think Bird is very slow.
Well, certainly not here. You know what? I don't know about the original either, because the waddle, it wasn't really slow. It was just weird.
He
the
was
way
a
he
little
moved.
stiff. I mean, like, but everything was kind of stiff in the original. But still, like, Sergeant Bird has always been my favorite character to play as. Like, even in the original.
I was just elated when we first played this, like the first time ever playing Reignited, that a lot of these critters feel as good as they do here, because they definitely like needed the upgrade and control. Like Sergeant Bird feels really good to play as here.
Yeah.
You know, they got the Spyro IP. Probably not. I think because Microsoft, the whole thing of why people are saying, oh no, Crash and Spyro are Microsoft boys now, it's just because knowing that the way IP stuff and ownership stuff works, I'm assuming how it is once the acquisition went through is that because Microsoft now owns Activision, technically Microsoft owns the IP of Crash and Spyro, which is why they're allowing Toys for Bob to still work on stuff, you know, probably related to them.
Yeah.
And they're going around Activision to do it. That's how come when Toys for Bob initially made their indie announcement, there was no mention of Activision whatsoever, but they said that they were going to work to try and strike up something with Microsoft directly. And then, as it turns out later, it actually worked. And so their next game that they're working on right now is being directly funded and supported by Microsoft. And that's fucking awesome, because hopefully...
like, Toys for Bob could still, like, they could still work with Microsoft. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, you know, just because they're indie now, it doesn't mean that they, like, they're... I don't know. I feel like people, like, when they hear, like, certain news, like, oh, Toys for Bob's indie now, that means they can never make Spyro. It's like, what? No.
This also goes for the people that initially thought that because they were going indie, they could no longer work on Crash and Spyro, and people were like, maybe the next project's a Banjo remake.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. People were a lot of people were confused. People thought it was gonna be a bad thing because Microsoft's the way Microsoft is, which is kind of true, but that's why we're thinking, hey, the way the fan base gets, it's almost like we're kind of weaponizing that, which is not a very good practice, but it's like, hey, do you want to piss off this entire crowd of fans that love Crash and Spyro? Hey, Microsoft, maybe you should like not just decide to have them, like force them to put in whatever you want in that game and let them be, do them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think they are, because we'll have to just see. Because if it is Spyro and all hints are kind of pointing towards it might be, we just need that confirmation. You'll know, like there will be a certain feel, or there will be certain things, features they'll probably boast or whatever that could end up in that game that are going to feel like they were Microsoft decisions, and hopefully that's not really the case. Hopefully they just let them do their own thing. Oh yeah, also Cadence of Hyrule, which is a thing I constantly forget exists. But yeah. So basically I need teamwork on that too. It also just depends on who that company is, because that's surprising that's like Nintendo would let them do that, because Nintendo, for one, is just... Oh, you know how they can be. Very, very touchy about this stuff. Can't really blame them, but at the same time it's like, ugh. The myriad of freaking fan projects that they've had shut down.
Before I was captured, I recovered this egg from the enemy, sir.
Ashley, hello. Everyone to play as Agent 9. His personality, vibes, skills, his monkey, and I love him. Yeah. We have a fezzed penguin in the chat.
Fez!
He is fezzed up and ready to go. Did you do the debriefing line?
Ready to be the brief cell.
If Spyro at some point was to collab with a Nintendo IP, who would fit best?
Somebody can answer that better than I can.
I'm trying to think. The two silly dumb answers that are kind of obvious would be either like Mario or Zelda, but like probably Zelda actually, with the medieval kind of feel or whatever. Possibly.
I mean, that could work.
Think Kirby. That'd be kind of cool too. Kirby. I'm hoping that's the next game that Sakura is working on. I'd love to play a new Kirby game. Forgotten Land was really good. Oh wait, hold on. There was you finished Forgotten Land, you should. The final boss was pretty fucking sick. It was crazy. Kirby ran on Spyro's back. Kirby would also solo Malfoy without a doubt.
Kirby absorbing Spyro and getting his powers.
Oh. All little horns.
Yeah.
Little horns and the little spiky hair. That's some Smash stuff right there. You get the horns, but you'd probably breathe fire. You'd breathe fire like Spyro. Has Kirby ever fought an actual ass dragon? I can't remember. I feel like he must have.
Can't remember. Alright. Perfect.
I want a Terminator reference. Musa, in what way do you do you want so like a boss or something to fall in lava and they do the typical thumbs up thing? That's like the one reference everyone makes. It was even in It Takes Two.
Yeah.
That's the
In
easy
fact, if
reference.
you don't do it, it's weird.
Yeah, there are
I
times
think
when you see
you were
like,
expecting that, weren't you expecting that from like RE4 when the El Gigante fell in the lava? You were
yes,
expecting it,
Yes.
but you didn't do it.
I was like, it wouldn't make sense at all, but that'd be funny if you just did it. Yeah.
We should help her. You're kidding, right? She nearly toasted you.
I have no idea why they just
but she
dropped
was aiming at
Reignited
you.
and then just had their hands for the franchise. Because for whatever reason, Spyro at the time just wasn't super top priority. But I think what their plan originally was to kind of flip-flop, but many more Crash projects just happened to have come out, and those went through many development hell stuffs in and of themselves. I think the only one that seemed I haven't heard weird stories about was Nitro Fuel. That one seemed to Bunox seemed to have just been left alone for that, which is good because I mean it came out and it's it's really good.
Thanks.
No problem. It's a good thing for you Hunter was around.
But Crash 4 went through its own hell, and Rumble, simultaneously went through its own hell.
Would you like
I think
me to
Crash
show
2 is
you?
the only other one that like went off pretty okay, all things considered.
Out of magic, huh?
And
How
Sane
about I
went
give
through a
you
little bit of a hell. They were
jump
rushed, so I mean,
I'll deal with you later.
oof.
Hey, why'd you have to scare her off?
Alrighty.
Oh, Doom did do that. I forgot about that. I was gonna say Doom did that. I've never myself gotten that game over thing, but I forgot about that entirely. You're right.
Alright. That's gonna do it. Today's stream is done.
Boggle.
Well, let's find out who to raid. We could still do raiding.
Raps is playing the Plucky Squire. Dayo's also streaming Spyro.
I like to raid people who are playing Spyro for the first time.
Find some Spyro.
Let's see.
Fun Bob. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the first thing you said. What kind of furry would Mark be? Randomly asking. That's a Miharu question, that's not a me question.
What is it?
What kind of furry would I be?
Oh, you'd be a bandicoot.
Oh, dude, Bandicoot, they're all stocky and weird.
But you'd also probably be a cat.
Yeah. I'm surrounded by cats. IRL.
Yeah, you're gonna turn into them, so.
The fox and the cat. Well, that's for y'all to do. I will let you do you, let you do your own thing.
Okay. Oh, I think I found somebody to raid.
James, you came in a we're ending. Although you could definitely watch the live back.
Okay. So, anyway, so that's gonna do it for the stream. Thank you all so much for joining. Remember, new stream schedule, 11 a.m. PST, 4 days a week. I will keep this up. And whenever I can't stream, I will let you know. But, yeah, that's gonna do it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more casual gaming content. And join my Discord. There's a link in the description below, and I will see you next time. Until then, this is Miharu signing off. And now let us raid. Let's find someone to raid here.
Raid.
Okay.